So today we're going to be doing an ab workout. I'm going to be taking you through 12 exercises. We're going to do each of them for 2 sets of 10. And once again, these are going to be paired exercises, so you'll go back and forth between both exercises, completing each set before moving on to the next pair of exercises. All right, let's get started. All right, so the first exercise is going to be the dead bug. So what we're going to do, flip over onto our backs here, and then we're just going to put our arms straight up and our legs up, slightly bent. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our left hand and our right foot. The left hand's going to move backwards behind my head as the right foot extends. So we're going to move these two together like this, and then we're just going to hold the arm not touching the floor, the toe not touching the floor, and then we're just going to snap it back. Then we're going to do the same thing with the opposite arm and foot. So we've got our right arm and our left foot, and we're just going to extend, hold, don't let anything touch the ground, pull back, and that's 1. So we're going to do that for 10 with each arm and leg, popping back, pausing just a second at full extension, and bringing everything back, keeping everything nice and tight, making sure we're activating our core, so really kind of flexing while we're doing these things. And that's going to work on your obliques and your transverse abdominals. So the next exercise that we're doing is going to be toe taps. So once again, we're just going to move onto our back. We're going to put our toes up and flex so that we're keeping that leg as straight as we can. We're going to put our arms over our head. And what's important here is to make sure that we're not using our arms to pull our upper body up. We want to make sure we're really focusing on these upper abdominal muscles that should be propelling us forward to touch that foot. So what you're going to do is you're going to slightly lift. So we're going to start from here and then finish pushing towards the toe. Instead of coming all the way back and using your arms, it's kind of a cheat. So we're just going to start a little lifted and then up. That's 1. And we're going to do that for 10. So this next exercise is going to be a full extension to Cannonball. So once again, we're going to kind of turn to the side. So butt on the ground, legs slightly bent. And what we're going to do from here is we're going to extend out. So we're just balancing on our butt here, holding everything out, arms out, and then we're just going to come together in this little cannonball like you're just about to jump in the pool, and then extend. Your shoulders and your upper back should not be touching the ground, and also your feet should not be touching the ground. So everything's hovering, really activating this core, and then we're cannonball, extension, cannonball, extension. Now, some people might not be able to go straight into cannonball extension, so what you can always do is assisted extension to cannonball. So you'll put your arms behind you facing forward, legs out, and just kind of help push that upper body up if we're not ready to do that full extension to cannonball. Awesome. All right, and the next exercise is going to be similar to one we've done before. This is going to be opposite arm to leg toe taps. So just like the first toe tap exercise we did, we're going to start on our back, legs flexed, knees slightly bent. And what we're going to do is we're going to go take our left hand and try and touch our right toe. And then, like I said, we're going to start slightly up, and then we're just going to go opposite arm and leg, making sure we're not using those arms to kind of cheat the way up. Make sure we're not coming all the way back down to the ground after each rep. We're still coming back to this slightly raised position. All right, so this next exercise is going to be assisted side sit-ups. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn to the side. We're going to put our hands behind us like we were going to do if you had to do the assisted extension to Cannonball. But then once we're here, we're just gonna kind of turn onto our left hip. We're gonna lift these legs up in the air, and then we're just gonna extend down and together. So you're pulling your knees in, and you're pushing your upper body towards those knees, and then we're just gonna extend out and back, extend out and back. All right, and then for the other side, we're gonna do the same thing. So we'll just slip around, putting those hands behind us, pointing forward. We're just gonna turn onto that right hip, and down and up, down and up, down and up. All right, and obviously, like I said, we're doing all of these for 2 sets of 10. You would wanna do it 10 on each side since we're working opposite sides of the abdominals. So for our next exercise, we're going to do the Russian twists. Some people like to call them cherry pickers. A lot of different ways to describe them. So we're gonna turn sideways and we're just gonna come back, knees bent. We're gonna end up balancing on this butt again. We're just gonna lift these legs up. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to reach to each side, making sure that we're turning that upper body so that we're activating that core. And we're going to do that for 2 sets of 10. And you want to make sure that we're not teeter-tottering, losing a lot of balance, especially if you try and go through the exercise too quickly. You can lose your balance, and the whole goal is to make sure that we're focusing on stabilizing our core. So we want to do nice, slow, and controlled movements. So the next exercise we're going to do is leg raises with an optional reach and clap if you're feeling like you're an expert and the leg raise isn't doing enough for you. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay on our back. We're gonna keep our arms straight down in front of us for now. For everyone just doing the regular leg lift, we're gonna keep these toes flexed, and we're just gonna lift those legs and then back down, making sure not to let them touch the floor. You wanna make sure they're coming back to hovering, never touching the ground, coming back up, 2, 3, 4, and we're gonna do that for 2 sets of 10. Now, if you want to do the extra credit and do the reach clap as well, so we're going to just start same way, legs hovering up, and then you're going to reach and clap, and then down. Oh. Whew, that one's hard. So this next exercise is going to be side to side toe touches. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna head over onto our back, and we're just gonna move our heels as close as we can to our butt. Awesome. Then we're gonna lift our upper body up off of the ground, making sure we're using our abdominals to lift and not straining our neck to pull our upper body up. And we're gonna make sure those, like I said, those shoulder blades are off the ground. And we're just gonna lean to each side and tap those toes. All right, I don't know if you can see it, so I'll do it from straight on as well, just so that you can see. Lifting up, scooting these in, and tapping that toe, tapping that toe. And we're doing that all the while keeping our shoulder blades up off the ground. And this is the only one that we're going to do for 20 reps instead of 10. So going from left to right would be 1. So just for counting purposes, 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. So the next exercise we're going to be doing is windshield wipers. So we're just going to turn, and we're going to put our arms kind of bent, resting on our elbows. And just like it sounds like, we're going to take our legs back and forth. Try and keep those feet flexed and those arms straight. We're just going to bring it over to the right, back up to center, over to the left. Not letting those feet just fall and touch the ground. We want to make sure that we're doing those nice, controlled motions. And we're gonna do that for 10. And just once again from the front, just so you can see how the legs should be moving. To the right, back up, to the left. All right, and back and forth would be 1. So if we started from here, to the right, up, to the left, back to center, that's 1, and we'll do that for 2 sets of 10. So the next exercise that we're doing are going to be side planks with optional hip dips at the end if that side plank isn't doing enough for you, just giving you a little bit extra muscle endurance at the very end of the exercise. So the way side planks work, we're going to prop ourselves up on our left arm, and we're going to just stick these legs out to the side so they're nice and straight, and we're just going to kind of stack them on top of each other. And then you're just going to want to have your hand on your hip here. You're going to want to make sure that you're not being lazy and dipping down like this, but that we're holding this body in a nice straight line. And we're going to do that hold for 30 seconds. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to prop ourselves up on our right hand, stick those legs out, make sure we're nice and straight. Same thing on the right. And now the optional hip dips at the end is where you're going to just bring that hip down to the floor, pop back up. So at the end of the 30 seconds, if you need a little bit more, I recommend doing 5 of those, just 5 reps of those hip dips, and then be done with the exercise and go to the other side. All right, so the next exercise we're going to do is mountain climbers. So we're going to get up into a push-up position. So feet straight back, hands forward. Make sure we're keeping that body nice and straight. We're not dipping down. That can really hurt your lower back. Or something like this where you look like a triangle, then you're not really activating or using your core. That's really just using like your arms and your shoulders. So we're going to stay nice and flat. And then we're going to take our left leg and bring the left knee towards the right elbow and back. Then we're going to do the same thing with the opposite leg. So we're going to take our right knee towards our left elbow and back. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. All right, and for our last exercise, we're going to do the infamous plank with optional hip dips at the end. Like I said, if you want to build some muscle endurance at the end of that exercise. So for the regular plank, we're just going to prop ourselves up on our forearms with our toes back. And we want to make sure, once again, that we're not sinking, because that's going to hurt our lower back. And we're not popping up, because then we're not really using our core to support our body weight. So we want to be nice and flat. And you're just going to hold this for 45 seconds. At the end of the exercise, the hip dips that are optional are just going to toss you to the side, up, side, up, side, up, side, up. And I would do about 6 reps at the end of the exercise for a little bit more oomph. And that concludes our ab exercises, our little ab workout. I'll be doing a yoga one in a couple of days, and I hope this helps. I miss you guys. Love you.